right, here now to discuss. Host of Front and Center Media and pop culture strategist Jacquie Jordan. Jacquie, thanks for being with us this afternoon. How do you see this playing out now that Melania is clearly upset about it?
Well, thank you so much, Ike. You know, I think the First Lady is not taking fools gladly anymore, and she's not staying quiet. She's been very front and center, literally, recently, and this crossed the line. She's made it very known in the last couple of years how incredibly shocking for her and the family Butler, Pennsylvania was to her. And it was incredibly disrespectful. Had you seen her expression on Saturday night, it was gut-wrenching. It was complete shock and horror and terror. And, you know, she's literally slipped out the back of the stage for her own safety. I mean, that's like not funny. There was so much chivalry expressed from the administration and the men in the room that night, including President Trump, who helped her off the back of the stage, that, you know, Jimmy Kimmel could have also expressed, you know, the protection of chivalry as well, but he instead, you know, made a really like a low punch. And I always think that, you know, we talk about it being ABC, and gosh, ABC has such patriot vitriol on their network. In the morning, it's just laden for the ladies with The View. At night, it's Jimmy Kimmel. I'm a former talk show producer, so, you know, what you see also on TV is not necessarily reflective of the values of the nation. You know, you can make a large applause. You give the audience sugar when they're waiting in the backstage room before they take their seats, and you pump them, you put the air conditioner on and you pump them all up. You know, so it makes it sound like there's a big, loud cheer for him, when in fact, you know, it's a very small audience. I have to say ABC is owned by Disney. What does Disney have against the Trump administration that they would keep this high-level ticket talent asset on the air in spite of it? And I always remind, you know, Americans that we get to vote for our dollar. So if we want Jimmy Kimmel fired, we just have to stop paying attention to him.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and people have, as his ratings have declined. Obviously, he has a revenue problem. He has a ratings problem. And then he's putting the license in jeopardy. Now, to be fair, Jimmy Kimmel did record that special with that joke 3 days prior to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. The wild thing is he makes so many jokes. Yeah, he makes so many jokes so often that when something bad happens, he's made a joke probably inappropriately in some kind of proximity. The big rub here is last night, instead of apologizing, last night, he then said, well, you know, it's basically your husband's fault. Now we're learning that the FCC has ordered a review of ABC's licenses. This just came down this afternoon. What do you think it is going to take, Jacquie, for Jimmy Kimmel to lose his job? What do you think?
Well, I think less eyes, and you know, we're not above, you know, giving Disney a hard time. We've seen the boycotts that we've done with Disney over the past couple years over some of their DEI policies and their LGBTQ plus policies in terms of pushing it onto young children. So the public and families in general have been very outspoken when it comes to what they will tolerate from Disney in terms of content programming or agenda, and what they won't take. And I think that this is another opportunity. Ike, I think it was great that you brought up the Man Show, because, you know, also Joe Rogan came off of that show too, and he's, you know, takes a very different, you know, public media stance as well, in a way that, you know, Jimmy Kimmel has chosen not to. But some, you know, the whole gun violence issue, the whole is not of laughing matter at this point. And I think that what I really appreciated about the Trump administration at this time is that they really are bringing back dignity to the White House, which we hadn't seen in the previous administration. It was all over the place in terms of that. And so, you know, I think as a comedian too, you have to, one, know your audience, and two, you have to know your timing. And I think that's what makes a masterful comedian. And I stood by comics during, you know, cancel culture, because I really am a First Amendment person, you know, but you know, sometimes things are just simply tasteless. And
that's right. Yeah, I'm just waiting for him. Yeah, I'm just waiting for him to be funny again. Jacquie Jordan, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Ike.